Welcome to the Land of House YouTube channel. I'm Seth. This is the VTOMAN Jump1000 lithium iron phosphate power station. Let's go ahead and unbox it and then take a look at all of its features. Well, let's do a quick unboxing to see what all comes with this product. The box is nice. So first of all, you can lift up this foam and remove the storage bag that has a lot of cables in it. We'll set this off to the side and then I'm gonna pick up the power station. Luckily, these things have a nice strong handle on them. Let's go ahead and take a tour around this product and see what's inside of the storage bag. So on the front, the business end, we've got the input right over here. It's a DC 12 volt to 30 volt. Down here, you've got an output. So it's got the on button for the DC, two barrel plugs, 12 volt, 10 amp, and the car adapter there. Up here, you've got USB-C output. It's two of those. Down here, you've got the 5 volt 2.4 amp, and that's three of those, and then a single quick as a 3.0 version there. You got your display. You've got three different outlets. These are pure sine wave inverter, 110 volt, 60 hertz at 1000 watts. The on button for the AC, and then up over here is something kind of unique. There is a jumper option here, so you can jump start a car on that, and over here it's got a battery charge, so definitely nice to have those options. Okay, moving to the top, it's got a nice plastic carrying handle. It's a little bit on the wobbly side, so definitely seems to carry this battery well though. This is a lithium iron phosphate, and so it's nice and heavy compared to a lithium ion, but it also has more power in there. So on this side, you've got the 1000 logo there, and then this right here is for ventilation. Moving on to this side over here, it is the exact same. And if we go to the back, it's got an LED panel and it has a single on button over there. And then if I flip this up to the side, we can see here that it's got some rubber feet and nothing that's there on the bottom. All right, let's move this off to the side and take a look at what's inside of the storage bag. It's nice that they have included a storage bag to keep all of the cables managed. So first of all, you've got your AC to DC power brick. So that's just going to have a typical wall plug, and then it has the barrel plug on that end. This can be charged by a car charger, and so there's the cable for that. And then right here, you've got a USB-C to USB-C plug, and then here is a USB-A to USB-C right there. All right, and then other than that, it has a little tiny user manual in this bag as well. The very first thing in the user manual, it says charge up the unit first. So let's go plug this up to some AC power and begin charging, and then I will show you some specs here in the book before we begin doing our tests. I have the AC power cord. I'm going to plug it up to my receptacle over here, and then I've got the power brick. I'm going to plug up right there, and then simply plug this up into the DC port right here. Looks like this thing was shipped at 84%. Let's zoom in here and see what all is going on. 84% capacity is blinking, and it's going to take 1.3 hours at 182 watts to get this fully charged. I let this unit sit overnight and it is 100% charged. So now it's time to go ahead and do a discharge test to see if this holds up to the spec of the battery. This power station has a 1408 watt-hour battery, and so I'm going to be using this little heater as the discharge test method. So let's go ahead and turn on the AC down here and plug this up. Okay, there we go. We get my stopwatch out, and so I will be able to start this heater and then press the stopwatch, and we'll know based on the watt hour of the battery and the watts being consumed and the time if this battery is going to hold up to spec. So here we go. I'm going to turn this to the second setting and push start here on our timer. Let's see what this little heater is pulling. Let's see, 670 is where I'm seeing it kind of balance out here. So let's say 1,408 watt hours divided by 670 should last for 2.1 hours. So let's go ahead and come back in about an hour and 30 minutes and see how this is doing. Well, the system just turned off here, and let me check the time. It says low 0 on that. It just turned off. So, all right, and as far as it's been an hour and 23 minutes. Well, this thing has a 1,408 watt hours divided by the 670 watts we were using. So 2.1 hours is what we were anticipating by the numbers, and it turned off at an hour and 23 minutes. So just as I stepped in the door, it goes beep, so I didn't quite get the camera in here fast enough. So I may have to redo this test and see if I can get a better visual on that. But anyway, one way or the other, it is not the 2.1 hours that I was anticipating. So, all right, let me go ahead and charge this back up, and we will get another test going. All right, I have charged this power station back up. Uh-oh, that didn't come off properly. I have charged up the power station again. Let's go ahead and plug up this heater once more. Everything is off. Turn the AC on here. All right, there we go. I'm gonna turn this on to the 1 level instead of 2. Click the start on my stopwatch. So let's see what it gets up to here as far as wattage goes. Looks like we're doing somewhere around 443. So let's just do our math again. 1,408 divided by 443, 3.18 hours, and this is showing 2.6. So I'm going to go ahead and set an alarm for 2 hours, and we will see how this is doing. Well, it happened again. You can see the fan is just now spinning down. So I walked out here, turned on my camera, and there you go, low. So let me get the time real quick. All right, so the stopwatch is at 2 hours and 3 minutes. That was close. I almost missed it again. All right, so if we do the 1,408 watt hours divided by, and it actually was running more at 456 watts. That's 3.08 hours, and this thing ran for 2. So it is not holding up to spec here on this battery, so that is disappointing. Okay, that is twice that I have gotten poor results on this discharge test. So I'm gonna go ahead and charge this back up for the 3rd time, and we will go ahead and do some of the other testing here, like use the 12 volt car charger, use the USB and the DC output. Now, this unit advertises having a car jump starter, but that is sold separately. And then over here you can charge up a battery, and that cable is also sold separately. And then of course we also need to check out here how the LED panel works as well. So, all right, yeah, I would have liked to have seen that lithium iron phosphate battery get a whole lot closer to the spec on the watt hours. But we know the AC side of this power station works well. Let's go ahead and plug up to the DC side. So I've got a little 12 volt air compressor here. So I'm going to go ahead and push the DC on button. Fan kicks on here. We'll go ahead and push the power button here. 82 watts on that. So that right there was working as it should. Let's go ahead and plug up this little speaker down here to one of the USB ports. Seems to make a good connection there. And I can just plug this little speaker up, turn on that as well. Hopefully you'll be able to see in here, there is a little red dot that shows that this is charging. All right, so that's working well. All right, now I don't have the cables to use the jump starter or the battery charger. It would be nice if they had included those. All right, so let's go ahead and turn that off, and let's go ahead and see if I can trip this overwatt value. I've got a little heater here. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug up this down here. Turn on the AC side of things. All right, so I'm gonna click this up to setting number 2, which is I think 1500 watts. Yes. Got 1010 right there. 1007. Producing good heat, but it's not triggering this. All right, since the heat gun didn't trip this, let's use this space heater and the heat gun and see what we get. Let's turn this up to value number 3. See what that's gonna do. We've got 1043 watts. I'm gonna turn this on. It's actually dropped it down to 700, 900. So what it's doing, it's bringing both of these down to a lower value. Let's see what we get. There's 1060, 1070. So it's not triggering, it's just bringing the inverter value down. That one's gonna ramp up. Yep, there it goes. All right, so instead of triggering the overwatt value, it has just brought down these to not use its full potential there. The back of the power station has this light panel with a single button over here. You can press it for low, medium, and high. It's got strobe and then SOS and then back to off. So let me show you how bright this is real quick by turning off my studio lights. All right, as you can see, it is totally dark in here. Let me find where this light is. There we go. All right, so there is the lowest setting. It says 2 watts here on the display. Got 5 watts there for the next setting up. 10 watts for the brightest setting, and it is pretty bright. Let me step over here for reference so you can see how bright this is. So pretty good. All right, and then I'll just demonstrate the strobe. I don't think we need to stare at that for very long. Strobe, and then the SOS feature, and then off. All right, I believe that pretty well shows the basic features of this power station. Let's go over my personal list of pros and cons. Well, as I was about to set up for pros and cons, the fan went meow in here, and it sounded like something fell off of something else. Let me rattle this around. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. Something just came loose whenever when that turned off. All right, for my personal list of pros and cons, let's start with the cons first. Whenever the unit just turned off, something broke free and fell off to the side. I'll have to open up this box in a later video to see what that was all about. So that's definitely not good. It didn't come with the car jumper cable or the battery charger cable. Seems like that would have been nice things to have. There's no button to turn on the display without touching one of the other inputs, so the AC or one of the DC inputs. So would have certainly been nice to have had a separate button for that. The battery capacity advertised 1,408 watt hours, but we were getting far less than that on the 2 different tests that I ran. The carrying handle seems a little bit flimsy for a unit this heavy. I believe that sums up the cons for this unit. Now for the pros. I do like the LED light panel on the back. It is nice and bright. The display does show the watts being consumed. You are able to charge and use this unit at the same time. It comes with a carrying case for the extra cables. And lastly, there are plenty of USB outputs, which are nice to charge multiple things at the same time. All right, I believe that concludes my review here of the Vtoman Jump 1000 power station. If you have some questions, comments, concerns, write those down below. My personal thoughts is that this unit has a few places where the company can improve upon. I'd like to see that battery capacity up to spec, and I'd also like to see them include the jumper cables and the battery charge cables, and also add a button so that you can look at the display or change the brightness of the display by pressing that and not having to turn on one of the other buttons or turn off and back on the AC to get that brightness back up. I also would like to see this flat space in here be a cell phone charger too. So those are just some things that I would add if I were to improve this power station. Check the links in the description down below if you want to learn more. I'm Seth with Land A House, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.